I look like, do you remember the Lorax and the mayor?
Yes.
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 Yes. I need a haircut.
Yes.
Hi, welcome back to our channel. We are Chase and Melia, and today we are reacting to somebody who requested this like 4 months ago.
Yes.
Name is Marie. She wanted us to watch this. We are reacting to Song So Hee, Spring Day, BTS song, different style, cover.
Absolutely. Female vocalist.
Female vocalist.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're really excited about that. If you're new here, we are Chase and Melia. We are singers,
Yes.
Performers, teachers. We went to school for the voice. We just love singing, and
Yes.
we hope that you love singing too. We actually, what we do here is we try to break down what we see other professional singers do so that we can improve our singing, and hopefully you can improve your singing as well.
Definitely. Let's get started.
보고 싶다. 이렇게 말하니까 더 보고 싶다. 너의 사진을 보고 있어도 보고 싶다. 너무 약속한 시간 나는 우리가 밉다. 외부를 한번 보는 것도 힘들어진 우리 여긴 온통 겨울뿐이야. 8월에도 겨울이 와. 마음은 시간을 달려가네. 홀로 남은 설국열차. 네 손잡고 지구 반대편까지 가. 겨울을 끝내고파. 그리움들이 눈처럼 내려야 봄날이 올까. 허공을 떠도는 작은 먼지처럼 날리는 눈이 나라면 조금 더 빨리 내게 닿을 수 있을 텐데. 눈꽃이 떨어져요. 조금씩 멀어져요. 보고 싶다. 보고 싶다. 얼마나 기다려야 또 몇 밤을 더 세워야 널 보게 될까. 만나게 될까.
Sorry, I want to talk about it really quick.
A lot of interesting stuff. in
Really, really cool things going on. Okay, first of all, the first part felt like we talk about this on a lot of our videos when we like the person and they're doing a great job. Just specifically when they're singing in that lower register, it's still having so much resonance. I felt like it had so much resonance, even though it was lower. It felt like she was speaking, and I thought that it reminded me so much of chanting. I know that this is a different style of music that you can tell she's pulling in from. It sounds like more ancient maybe styles of singing, but
like traditional.
Yes. So I thought that was really cool. But then I also love hearing these ornamentations that she's adding of like outside of our Western scale, like outside of tonality that we know in Western music, which BTS obviously sings to. It sounds really cool.
Yeah.
And then I think that so far I'm really pleased with how she's singing. I think that she has a lot of consistency so far. What do you think? Feels like you don't think that.
Well,
Curious.
interesting. I think that her voice is very simply beautiful. You know, I think it's really pleasant. But I also think that she doesn't have a lot of the clarity that we typically hear with a lot of professional singers.
Okay.
So if I back it up here a little bit, when she really opens up, that first part was super duper cool. I agree with you. That was really cool. But if I'm going to start just in a random spot.
Yeah.
조금 더 빨리 내게 닿을 수 있을 텐데. 눈꽃이
It just sounds a little bit like,
Yeah.
a lot of that breathiness.
Yeah.
That I don't think that I haven't heard it go away. So I don't I don't think that it's very intentional.
Okay.
At least in terms,
like stuff like a stylistic choice.
Like a stylistic choice.
Yeah.
So that's typically what a lot of people say if I talk about somebody's breathiness. Well, they say, oh, well, they're doing it on purpose. They don't have to do that. And, you know,
For sure.
That's something that I personally struggle with is I
understand.
sing with some breathiness and it's not as clear and full as my voice could be. And in this case, I think she has the same thing I do where I don't pick it stylistically. It's just, it's how I've sung for so long that I'm trying, you know, I'm always trying to recover from how I've done it in the past.
I definitely hear what you're talking about. Like even just playing that right there.
Yeah.
I definitely hear that. I mean, we won't know until we continue, but I also felt like it might have been a lack of energy and a lack of airflow usage. Like we talk a lot on our channel about full phonation and resonance, and what we really are talking about is when you don't have that breathiness, when your vocal folds are fully phonating and fully coming together, you have the full resonance that your voice is intended for. And a lot of times, even in professional pop singing or whatever, people will hold back in the beginning of a song and create that breathiness, and then when they step it up to kind of bring in a new dynamic. And I think a large part of our argument technically is that you don't need to compromise your technique for dynamics. That's all to just say, I'm curious to see if that's what she's doing here.
Sure.
I'm curious to see if she's going to bring it all the way in as we keep going.
And I think there are some people who can only have that clarity when they like
Yes.
belt and go super high and go in certain parts of their voices. Yeah, but I already think she kind of like went into a different register of her voice. And then one of the things I think is so super duper cool, or exactly what you were saying, where it's the ornaments. So the let me see if I can find one here.
보고 싶다 보고 싶다
Not only the first note where it goes, "Ja," but also the intentional slowing and also widening of a vibrato, which almost goes like out of tune in a great way.
In a really cool way.
Oh my gosh. That is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And it gives it a whole dimension that you don't typically see in a lot of the, I'm going to also agree with you, westernized music that is all over the world these days, right?
Well, and I think that's what's really interesting too when you think about like Korean song, you know, when we are in college, we study world music and we study the Western.
For one semester, we learned all of the music all over the world.
Well, but like we learn essentially that, you know, Western music is a scale. There is tonality that is specific to Western music. So then you think about Korea, you know, and parts of Asia and places that have different scales, but then also their mainstream music is westernized.
Yeah.
Right? So like I would say like in a classical world, it's probably westernized tonality, but maybe in a traditional world in Korea, it's not. Like, do you know?
What do you mean? Like in traditional music?
In traditional Korean music.
Yeah, no,
exactly. No. So like if you look at America, like our traditional music is still to the Western scale.
Yeah, we have the 12 tone.
We have the 12 tone scale.
We have 12 tones in our music. And also what is like tonality, so something that is in tune and not in tune, and like how you build a chord versus all that kind of stuff. But like we learned all about, you know, Indian ragas and Balinese kachek, and we didn't actually study a lot of Korean.
No, but I'm just saying even like.
But all throughout that, you know, that those areas were, you know, especially for us being like young musicians, not understanding that different parts of the world perceive music differently, perceive like tonality and melody and all that stuff, all this stuff totally differently, was so wild. And so we only have like a bare understanding of a lot of this, but it's exactly that, where it sounds it sounds like folk music.
Yes.
You know, it sounds just really cool as a vocal technique to like slow it down and also give it that heavy vibrato.
Absolutely.
Whoa,
and bring that into a westernized style of singing that even is from a Korean artist. Like, that's cool.
Absolutely.
It's really cool.
Absolutely.
Okay, should we keep going?
얼마나 기다려야 또 몇 밤을 더 세워야 널 보게 될까.
That's the other one I was looking for. Oh, it's almost like it's like a
leading tone.
That one too, like almost
guttural.
like a guttural, like like swallowing kind of go.
Wow.
It was really.
널 보게 될까
She also slides. Like,
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really
Also the slow
the slowest set. Yes.
into note.
Yes.
That's tough.
It's
I don't know
really
if you've ever
cool.
tried that, but like, you know, a lot of us slide, sometimes not on purpose. But that slow slide is really something else. I love it.
Interesting.
I love it when people
Me
do that.
too.
만나게 될까 머물러줘 허공을 떠도는 작은 먼지처럼 날리는 눈이라면 조금 더 빨리 내게 될 수 있을 텐데 눈꽃이 떨어져요 조금씩 멀어져요
This is
Okay.
wild.
Remember that thing earlier where I said, nah, that's all she's got? Nah. I've already heard it.
I've already heard it.
We're only a minute and a half in. I already know everything she could do. I was wrong.
That is wild.
100% wrong.
But there's also like, I think admittedly too, there is a lot going on here. Like
Yeah.
I'm not going to say, because again, this is a totally different thing. Like this is a totally different type of singing
Yeah.
that I don't know if I can speak to technically in a way that like says you should go out and do it. Do you know what I mean? Like
Sure.
I don't know exactly how this works. It reminds me a lot of like yodeling and I do feel like there's a lot of kind of holding and letting go to let go. And also part of the beauty is how she really just rides her break. I feel like you kind of you sing, listen to any traditional music. I'm Hawaiian, so if I can draw back to like traditional Hawaiian music.
You're not Filipino?
That's right.
Everyone told
thinks.
me you was Filipino. I'm sorry.
Don't be
That's
sorry.
a terrible joke for
Don't be
years
sorry.
on our channel.
Everybody thinks I'm Filipino.
Everybody
Anyway.
believes Filipino.
Like I have Hawaiian background and a lot of like if I listen to a lot of ancient Hawaiian music, it has that like yodely, like really loose, not westernized sound.
Heavy slow vibrato.
Heavy slow vibrato, but also I think a large part of it too is sitting at the top end of your register. There's a beauty of that. It's like a cry. It's a stretching.
It's a strain a little
It's a
bit.
strain a little bit.
But it's
And it's
beautiful.
part of the sound. And so
Sure.
I don't want to say that like, oh yeah, she's totally technically doing it because I don't think that's what's going on.
Yeah.
At the same time, I so appreciate what's happening.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to offend like cultural like traditions and practices.
No.
But I do think that it's sat in a way
Yeah.
where it sounds a little bit like
Yes.
and I'm not saying that is it's a beautiful sound, but it might be hard to do for a long time.
Right. I wonder if she's tired.
It might also just be like, this is the only way I can do that. When she was singing in different parts of her voices, it didn't have all this clarity.
Right.
It didn't have all this I would say, bite and resonance
Ping,
and ping,
things we
all
talk
that,
about, yeah.
all those like describing words.
Absolutely.
And so, our argument all the time is why not? Why not have it every single time you open your mouth?
Absolutely.
And so,
but when you're talking traditional, like we're
talking about
we're a little
traditional
out of our
styles.
element here, okay, guys?
Exactly.
But this is really,
But this
really
is cool.
cool.
And I'm really excited.
Really cool.
Thank you for sending this to us.
Yes.
Let me go back.
조금씩 멀어져요 보고 싶다 얼마나 기다려야 또 몇 밤을 더 세워야 널 보게 될까
gosh.
Yeah.
I can't even.
It's like, it's really, yeah.
It's like,
but you
she's
also
doing
hear
all these little notes in there too. I feel
she
like.
is. And she's also, I imagine, like you're pulling a string really tight. Like not only is she doing all those notes, she's doing it in such a like intense way. I really don't know how to explain this.
Like the attack?
Like she's yelling.
Sure.
Like, you know what I mean? Like when you're screaming. Yeah. It's like, so, yeah. It's not the attack as much as it is just like the, I don't know, the tension. It feels like it's tension, honestly, but in an artistic way. Like it's tension and the tension breaks melodically. Is that like a good way to explain that?
Yeah.
I feel like she has like tension, like she almost can't sing this note, but then like has these ornaments along with it. It's just totally bizarre.
Yeah. Really cool. And how,
It's
how
awesome.
she kind of jumps on, I would say, you know, with instruments, there's the attack of like how you
For sure.
approach the note. There's a million different ways to do that on every single instrument. And how she is, you know, attacking these notes is like a lot of glottal kind of, we would call it a glottal attack. And that's, you know,
Yep.
you close, it's like what you do when you cough. And for her to like, you know, it's really interesting. And I think it makes it so much more vibrant and kind of that yelling, but in a musical way.
Yeah.
You know, doing both of those things at the same time is always a hard line to walk.
I want to try it.
Go
Can
for
we
it.
try it together? Let me see. I want to hear
What
it.
am I trying?
So, this is hard. It's like a really wide vibrato, but it's more accurate than that. Like, no, I can't do it without being like fully open. Like, how does she keep it? Do you see what I mean? She's like holding back.
Yeah.
She pushes it.
it's
I really don't.
So I think she's controlling it with her glottis, which is like the opposite of how we've trained for years.
For sure. It's literally the
and
opposite
I
of
bet
what
you
I'm
she
thinking.
is trained into it. You know what I mean?
No.
But I think it's I'm wondering if you'll ever see this, if this is ever going to be allowed,
Probably won't.
if we will just edit it out.
We're just going to keep that out.
But see, you're never closing off.
I'm never
the air.
closing off.
She stops. it.
I can't. I cannot do it.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Wait, before you hit play, I think that she is stopping her air a whole bunch.
I think so too.
And that is so tough.
It's
To do that,
insane.
not only in time, but also like with the accuracy of pitches, is just wild. It's really
I'm
tough.
so curious.
It's really tough.
Oh, yeah. That Okay.
was super duper cool.
I think I just want to ultimately say that is very impressively like technical.
Yeah.
But in a totally different way.
Yeah.
Than I understand the voice.
Yes.
Like that is so I don't have
Pardon my
many
language.
words.
She played the crap
Yeah.
out of her own voice. You know what I mean?
well, and it's so
it was like
instrumental.
It's like
Yeah.
watching a virtuoso on
Yeah.
any instrument where they knew exactly how to use
Their
their voice.
Their
In this
instrumentation,
case,
yeah.
their voice. And like I have to.
It was like a different instrument.
This one where she like lowers her hand is up, and as she lowers it,
She plays it,
She
yeah.
goes like kind of out of tune in the best way.
way.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is a time
Wow.
where she does this
This is
this note that not only is like a half step lower than the tonic, so it's already some tension in that note, but then she has this huge vibrato on it.
Yes.
It makes it feel like the whole thing is like even more tension.
and it sounds so cool with what's going on in
oh
the
my
background.
gosh. Right here. That is like a
is
half
highly-
step vibrato on a note that's already like,
I know.
which is so, oh my gosh. So you were saying that this is so technically difficult. You know, there's so much technique going on here.
Absolutely.
That is not typically what we talk about. You know
No.
what I mean? She like we always talk about when you're making a sound versus just letting your voice sound the way it is.
Right.
You know, this is making a sound, and we always, you know, not
We caution,
we
for
caution
sure.
we caution people against that. But I would say for this style,
Here's a purpose.
Here's a purpose. Here's a purpose where I don't think she's trying to sound like anybody else.
No.
But I think she is trying to sound like a particular genre.
Well, and this
And
is
we
a
talk
type
about
of
that-
singing. Yeah.
We talk about that all the time. Like sound appropriate to the genre. You know, if you're a jazz guitar player and you can shred, you know, you could probably do pretty good in a rock
Absolutely.
band, but you can't play it like with jazz tones.
Right,
you know, you
right.
got to sound appropriate, right?
or even like think of different like drastic styles of singing, tube and throat singing. Like
Sure.
that is a drastic technique.
Yeah.
That is not something that you're going to apply to your modern pop song.
Yeah.
You know, I would argue this is a really cool rendition
Oh.
to a modern pop song.
Yeah.
That I think still actually applies in the Western musical world. Like
Sure.
this sounds like something that somebody could, you know, adapt, has adapted, but like you could hear this today
Yeah.
in a way, right? On a show, in a thing like this.
Yeah, and I think it was still the song.
Absolutely.
But it had a lot of those ornaments, like you said, and the techniques and the stylistic kind
Yeah.
of flair of more traditional pieces, and it was really, really cool.
Really
I loved
cool.
that crossover. I also loved the kind of demonstration of like, this is another way people have mastered using their voice.
Totally.
You know, she might not have the most clear tone and the the
Right.
free like
Resonant.
free
Yeah,
resonant
yeah.
singing, but what we are talking about doing doesn't do that.
It's not this.
right? It's
It will not help you with this.
It's not going to help you with
Yeah.
this because I've never wanted to have a slower, big, wide vibrato. Like, not that I haven't not wanted it, but it's like it's not something I trained, and
Yeah.
this is something she is trained
So clearly,
right?
yeah.
So clearly practiced.
Yeah.
and I don't know. I just thought it was such a cool way to use her voice.
This is a
Wow.
really cool thing that we've never really reacted to on our channel. So
Yeah.
thank you, Marie, for
Thank you,
suggesting
Marie.
this. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this too. Like we've learned a lot, which is always our goal. Our goal is to take something away from these videos, to apply to our singing, to
Yeah.
just think about with singing, to apply to our technique, all of that. I think that this was highly entertaining and unique, but also really educational.
Yeah.
Because being able to see different vocal styles out there, different vocal techniques out there, different traditional songs out there. Obviously, this isn't a traditional song, but the style of the song, I think it's really cool to see how it partners with contemporary music, because I think contemporary music is always looking for something new, like to do. So, you know what? Maybe let's just go backwards.
It was beautiful in a totally different way.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. We just have so much fun with all of this stuff, so we hope that it helps you. Just go sing. Go sing. Go have fun singing. Use your voice and have a good time.